Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jen, and I am going to be creating my last weekly spread for the month of December. Since this is the last weekly spread for the year, I decided to try to go all out and create something really pretty to say goodbye to this year. I used the Tombow ABT brush pen, so I'll be listing the colors in the description down below. For my outlines, I used the SAKURA PIGMA MICRON pens. I have a white jelly roll pen on hand in case of any mistake. And since I have a Dutch door, I'm using the X-ACTO knife to cut out the opening. Okay, I'll go ahead and start coloring in the layout. As I'm coloring, I'll be discussing the highlights for me in 2022. 2022 started off with a bang for me. I moved in with my boyfriend in January, at the end of January, and we lived together, and it was definitely an adjustment. It was new, but I'm really happy with the choice. We've had many adventures and new experiences together. And because of that move also, I was able to start diving into bullet journaling and be able to record my process and gain more confidence of doing voiceovers and sharing my work on social media, which I really appreciate because I've been able to meet different people from parts of the world that love what I love doing, which is bullet journaling, and I've been able to learn a whole bunch of new things about it and improve my techniques. Definitely, if you do a side-by-side comparison of like how I would set up my bullet journals like a couple years back till now, there's huge improvements. I feel like I've learned more, learned new techniques. I've been able to really figure out exactly what I want to track and what's good for me. That being said, there's always room for improvement, so I'm definitely looking forward to everything that I will be learning and seeing in 2023 in regards to bullet journaling. Another memorable moment for me in 2022 was when my boyfriend proposed to me on April 15th. It was amazing, really beautiful. We had a photo shoot and everything. It was a very special moment, and we were both really happy. The third highlight of 2022 for me would be that I traveled across the country from New York City to Seattle, Washington in June to meet my fiance's family before we got married. It was the first time I was going to be really far away from my family, and just the whole travel aspect. It was very nerve-wracking, but definitely an amazing experience for sure. It was really nice to see this whole new world, basically, from what I was used to. And I used that opportunity to dive into another project, which was to create a travel journal, because I felt that I wanted to capture and encapsulate the memories and the photos that I took on our trips. And I decided what better way would be than to do a travel journal about it. And that's exactly what I started doing. I've done for various of our trips. I've set it up in our travel journal. Shortly after our trip to Washington in June, we got married on July 1st. Again, one of the happiest days of my life. It was amazing and definitely something that we'll remember forever. Okay, now that I'm done coloring, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting out the circle to look into the picture on the next page. Just a reminder again, if you happen to use one of these cutting knives, just be very careful. They are very sharp and we don't want any accidents to happen. Even though it's sped up here for the video, I do take my time. I go really slowly cutting this out. One, because I don't want to cut myself, and two, I want to make sure I cut precise, especially here, like for example with the little bells, there are little drawings and like the lines, which are the strings that the bells are dangling from. I want to make sure I cut it exactly, that way I don't cut through it and then one of them falls off, which happened to me with one of those little holly leaves down at the bottom. I think I lost two of them because I cut it too thin, so that's something you would like to avoid. Continuing with 2022 highlights, the fourth highlight will be when my husband surprised me with a honeymoon trip to Florida. We spent 4 days at Universal Studios at their different parks and 2 days at 2 Disney parks. We chose Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom. Seriously, one of the best trips ever. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan and I've been dying to go to the Wizarding World down over in Universal Studios, and I was able to live out that dream. It was more than I imagined. It was really amazing. I documented everything, and that actually took me a long time to put into my travel journal. I'm thinking, since I already did it, obviously I can't make videos of like my setup and the process, but I am considering doing a flip through video on my travel journal so you guys can see how it turned out. It's really neat, and yeah, I feel like if someone's a fan of Harry Potter and they get an opportunity to go, definitely they should, because the park is simply amazing. As for Disney, the Magic Kingdom was amazing. It was great, but honestly what stole the show was Animal Kingdom. It is a must if a trip is done to Disney. It is such an incredible park, not only because of the animals they have, and they literally have like a safari in there. It's just the architecture, the building, how they built different sections is simply beautiful, and I was just awestruck. Okay, so here now I'm going to go ahead and color in this drawing. It's basically myself with my husband and our little beagle there that we recently acquired. He's been a lot of fun, a lot of work, but a lot of fun. He's adorable, and we are so happy to have him in our lives, and can't wait to see what else he does. Beagles are very energetic and social dogs, so definitely it's gonna have us really busy. Another memorable moment in 2022 was when my husband and I took my siblings to a Mets game. My parents paid for our tickets. It was really nice to go and spend time with them, and it was also the first time that my husband and I went to Citi Field, the Mets stadium. Then the Mets lost, but definitely the experience was worth it, spending time with them and just the atmosphere of the game. Another 2022 moment, I had mentioned in my previous videos how my husband and I went to Washington, so that was another trip we decided to do for the end of the year. We went to Washington to spend like the beginning of December with his family, with my husband's family, and like have a mini little Christmas celebration, since I wanted to celebrate Christmas here in New York City, and that was really fun. Surprisingly, it was snowing, so when we arrived to Seattle, so there was a lot of Christmas feels, like the pine trees were snow capped, and it was cold, and there was Christmas decorations up at various places. So definitely this trip, it was a Christmas trip, and we went earlier, and definitely there were just Christmas vibes everywhere. I've really loved our trips to Washington. It is such a beautiful state. There's so much to do nature wise. In this trip, we went to Lincoln Park, and I officially did my first hike. Um, it was very exhausting, but it was the views and just the experience of being in the middle of a forest, and going through the trails and the silence, but at the same time, the noise of nature is so peaceful, relaxing. We also managed to catch a glimpse of the Olympic Mountains when we went to a marina, and Mount Rainier was like behind us as the Olympic Mountains were in front of us, which was so captivating. And I definitely took a lot of pictures and videos. I would like to one day be able to go to Washington when the weather is good, like during the summer, and go over to Mount Rainier and try to hike a trail and just see the views and experience that area. I'm also very taken with the city of Seattle, from New York City, so definitely I just basically describe Seattle as New York City's little sister because it's basically the same thing but on a much, much smaller scale. In our trip in June, we went to Peg Place, which was simply amazing. We also went to this 4D virtual ride called Wings Over Washington, which takes you like over all the scenic views that Washington State has to offer. We also rode the Ferris wheel, the Great Wheel. That was really amazing. And we also went to a park called Cary Park. It's all the way up top Seattle. And once you get there, you get to see like the Space Needle, the sound, the mountains in the back, and like the Seattle skyline. And it's really beautiful. For this recent trip here in December, we went to Seattle again, and we went to Seattle's public library because we heard a lot about it, and it was also recommended to us. And I love books, I love libraries, and it was so amazing. It was so modern. It was 10 floors of books and audio books and movies. It was really amazing, and the architecture was also incredible. After that, we went to the Museum of the Museum of Pop Culture that's in Seattle, and that was just, I was obsessed. It was incredible. I took so many pictures and videos because there was just so much to see, so much to experience, so many interactive things. It was definitely one of the highlights of that trip, and I would definitely recommend anyone who has not gone there yet. If you happen to be in the Seattle area, or if you are in Seattle and just have not gone, you definitely should. It is really worth the money. To close out 2022, my family will be having a get-together, which is something we're really looking forward to. It'll be like the first time in a couple of years that my whole side of the family will be able to get together, and we will be doing that for Christmas Eve, to open gifts and just spend nice quality family time, and just celebrate Christmas together. So overall, 2022 was an amazing year for me. There were so many changes, so many life changes, so many new things that I got to experience, moments, memories that were created, new people I met, and it's one of those years that if I could repeat, I would. I hope it's the same for everyone. I'm definitely looking forward to what 2023 brings. I have set up various goals for myself to accomplish, and I will be setting up my 2023 bullet journal. I'm working on that. It's just there's been so much happening with the new puppy. A lot of my time has been towards him, so I'm just trying to manage my time and create what I have to. I have it finished, I just have to edit it and upload it, so I will be doing that in a couple of days, and I'll discuss there more about my 2023 goals and plans and things I'm looking forward to. So basically here I'm just going over with my SAKURA PIGMA micron pen and outlining all of the details. There was another highlight I forgot to mention. So I am a huge Taylor Swift fan. I've been listening to her music since 2006 when I heard Teardrops on my guitar. I was 12. I remember feeling like, oh my god, this is the most relatable song to me in that moment because I had an elementary crush. And it was just, I just related to her songs. And then going forward, I've listened to all her albums and know basically almost every song she has ever released. And I managed to snag 2 tickets to her Eras tour, which will be May of 2023. That I'm going to one of the shows in that month. That was really exciting for me. I was so happy. Obviously, there was a lot of issues in terms of like Ticketmaster did not handle that properly, and so many fans didn't get a chance to get tickets and get to watch Taylor. But recently I've heard that fans are able to get tickets, but ones who missed out even though they had priority. So I'm really glad about that because I feel like everyone should be able, who is a fan of her, should be able to experience at least once, experience the feeling of watching her live and singing her music. This will be my first concert of her, which is incredible because basically all the concerts I've missed out on, I'm going to get them all at once. So that's definitely something I'm looking forward to in 2023, and it's one of the highlights of 2022. Okay, so now I'm going over with the micron pen again over on the Dutch door. I try to make the border, it's basically like the leaves, the wreath that you put on mantles, and I just tried to make it seem like it was that with the color strokes when I was coloring it in, and now with the outlining, I just do little scribbles and do little indentations to give it like that wreath type of feel. So for the Christmas here, I just went with faux calligraphy because doing it with the brush, I felt like I was not going to have space. So I wanted more control as to how thick the strokes were going to be, the downstrokes. So I did it that way instead. Now I was just filling in the days for the last weekly spread and outlining that border. Okay, and I'm just filling in any gaps that are there and adding a splash of green to go so it can be consistent with the overall color of the theme. Okay, and there you have it. There is my last weekly spread of 2022. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like and comment and subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.